Welcome back. We're here again, ready to dig into some of the tools really shaping how we work.
That's right. Always trying to cut through the noise, figure out what's actually useful.
And, we often find ourselves browsing the AI agent store website. It's just such a great place for finding what's new and interesting.
Definitely. Keeps us on our toes.
So today we pulled some details on an agent there that, well, it caught our eye. It's called OneShot AI.
Ah, yes. OneShot AI. What stood out to me immediately is their description. They call themselves an execution OS.
Execution OS. Okay, what does that actually mean for, for you listening?
Well, it's built specifically for go-to-market teams, GTM. So an execution OS here implies it's more than just one tool. Think of it like a whole system using AI agents and human experts together. The main goal seems to be automating those really key business functions.
Like, what sort of functions are we talking about?
Things like outbound sales,
Yeah.
content creation, SEO, basically the whole GTM execution workflow. It tries to blend AI speed with, human smarts to really optimize how companies sell and market their stuff.
Got it. So that's what we want to unpack today. Pull out the key insights about OneShot AI, what it does, how it's maybe a bit different.
Exactly. Give you a clear sense of its capabilities, its take on automation, and what the real value might be, so you can figure out if this is something that could actually work for your team.
Precisely. Let's kick off with who this is actually for. Who's going to benefit the most here?
Yeah, the sources we looked at are pretty specific. This isn't really a general AI tool for everyone. It's really targeted, think sales teams, SDRs, sales development reps, marketing managers, especially the demand gen folks, RevOps pros, and GTM leaders. Seems like it's built to streamline their workflows.
That makes sense. And that focus probably ties into its autonomy level, which is rated at 84%.
84%. Wow, that sounds really high.
It is high. And I think that number tells a story, right, about how much it can handle on its own.
So what's driving that? How does it actually get to that level of autonomy?
Well, it uses AI for the prospecting part, finding the best leads. Then it generates hyper-personalized messages. And we're not talking just mail merge, like inserting a name. It really tailors the content. It also processes real-time data, orchestrates workflows automatically, basically making decisions without someone needing to, step in constantly.
That's impressive. But GTM, it's so much about nuance, isn't it? The personal touch, the strategy. How does it keep the quality high with that much automation?
That's the million-dollar question, yeah.
Yeah.
And the key seems to be, it's not about replacing people. It's about amplifying them. Human oversight for strategic tweaks, for adjustments, that's absolutely built in. It's crucial. The AI does the heavy lifting, the data crunching, finding patterns, executing fast, finding leads based on a really deep analysis of the ideal customer profile, or drafting those personalized outreach messages using real-time data points.
Okay, but then the human expert steps in. Where? Like at what point?
They'd review the overall strategy, maybe tweak the core messaging angles, they handle the really complex objections, or make those pivots based on market feedback that an AI might just miss.
I see. So the AI handles the micro tasks, the speed and the scale stuff, and the human provides the macro strategy, the intuition, maybe the empathy. That collaboration is the core idea then.
That makes a lot more sense. AI does the legwork, human steers the ship. Can we talk about some specific examples? Like, what does this actually look like day to day?
Sure. The sources mentioned automating outbound sales campaigns across different channels, email, LinkedIn, even prompting for cold calls, perhaps. But the really big shift seems to be how it scales the research and personalization. Doing that deep personalization for, say, hundreds or thousands of prospects, that's incredibly time-consuming traditionally. And often, quality suffers.
Oh, absolutely. Boilerplate messages just creep in. It's hard to avoid.
Right, so OneShot AI seems to aim to flip that script. The AI does the deep dive on each prospect, drafts relevant messages using actual data points it finds, manages the sequence.
Leaving the human SDR to do what then?
To focus on the actual conversations. Handling replies, nurturing leads, closing deals. They step in when the human touch adds the most value, not after hours of manual digging. That could be a huge boost for SDR productivity.
And it sounds like it goes beyond just the outreach part. You mentioned executing end-to-end GTM workflows.
That's right. It suggests it's a pretty comprehensive platform, which could mean, maybe smaller internal teams are needed for some functions, or it allows existing teams to be much more strategic. It offers this sort of ready-to-go intelligent system for GTM ops. Think about the agility that gives a company to adapt strategy quickly.
Exactly. Now, okay, let's cover some of the practical details if you're listening and thinking about this.
Right. So it operates on a paid model. which you'd probably expect for a business tool like this. And it's closed source. The code isn't open, which, for businesses, can actually be a good thing sometimes. It usually means it's more polished, supported, maybe more secure.
Often, yeah.
Yeah.
You're buying a managed solution, not something you have to constantly tinker with. And what about its traction? Is it actually, catching on?
Well, its popularity level is listed at 71%. In the GTM tech space, that's pretty solid. Suggests real market penetration, that users are finding value. That says a lot about it solving actual pain points people have.
And the industries it serves line up with what we've been saying. Sales, marketing, business automation, SaaS sectors, places that really need this kind of efficiency and smart automation.
And the tags they use just reinforce all of this. GTM automation, prospect research, multi-channel outreach, execution OS, and that key one, AI plus human collaboration.
Right. And for anyone who wants to see it, there's a video demo available too. OneShot AI writes your cold emails for you. Full demo. Seeing it visually, that often helps connect the dots on how it actually fits into a workflow. Okay, so let's try and sum this up. What's the core takeaway on OneShot AI for you?
I think the core proposition is that blend. It's AI automation meeting human intelligence, specifically focused on transforming GTM. It offers this highly autonomous system, yes, but crucially with human supervision baked in, covering everything from lead gen and personalization right through to managing the campaigns.
And why should you listening care about this specific tool, beyond just, a OneShot AI itself?
Well, look, understanding tools like OneShot AI isn't just about this product. It's really a shortcut. It helps you stay informed about where business automation and AI are actually heading. It gives you an edge.
Exactly. An edge in efficiency, an edge in strategic thinking, helps you stay ahead of the curve. Okay, so here's something to chew on. A final thought, maybe. How might this whole trend, these increasingly autonomous AI agents, but working with human oversight, how might that fundamentally change our teams? Like the actual structure of a sales team or a marketing department? What could that look like in, say, 5 or 10 years?
That's a huge question. A really important one, though. Are we moving towards roles that are less about doing the tasks themselves and more about directing the AI, managing the strategy, perhaps?
Maybe focusing way more on the uniquely human skills. Creativity, complex problem solving, empathy, strategic oversight. The things AI, well, at least for now, can't really replicate. It suggests a pretty big shift in what we value professionally.
It really does. A shift towards maybe symbiosis,
Right.
redefining productivity when you're working alongside intelligent automation. It's definitely something we need to keep an eye on.
And if this conversation about OneShot AI has got you thinking, or you want to explore other AI tools, you should definitely check out the source we keep mentioning.
Right. The AI Agent Store website. You can find it at aiagentstore.ai. Lots of innovative stuff over there.
AIagentstore.ai. Easy enough. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And a huge thank you if you've taken a moment to rate the show. It really does help us out.
It does indeed. We really appreciate the support. And yeah, we look forward to digging into something new next time.
Farewell for now.